Chris Cottrell back with you live tonight for Game 4 of our quadruple header, the nightcap on KNEB.TV, and that includes Allo Channel 15 and Mobius Channel 1500. Our first three games today, girls' third place game, that went to Mitchell with a 15-point win over Morrill. Boys' third place game, Gordon Rushville runs Baird out by 19, and then just moments ago, speaking of getting run out, it was the the Bridgeport Lady Bulldogs winning the WTC Girls Championship in blowout fashion, the final of 80-36, as they win it big over Gordon Rushville. They get 21 points from Olivia Loomis-Girdle, 15 from big sister Ruthie, who's just a sophomore, and Sydney Nine was in double figures with 11. Now, a real treat for us as we wrap up with the boys' WTC title game. It's Bridgeport and Mitchell. These two have played once already this year. Bridgeport a winner at Mitchell by the final of 68-65. Bridgeport comes into play tonight with a record of 16-2 under the direction of first-year head coach Sean Sturkle. And for Mitchell and head coach Jason Gregory, their record right now at 14-7. And of course, their marquee win so far this season came at Scottsbluff, a team that just beat the top team in Class B in power points on the road last night up at Alliance. So we've got a fun one on tap for this evening. Plenty of star power in this one as well. Of course, Austin Time. We had Morrill head boys coach Terry Lofink on at halftime of the first game, and it was Coach Lofink saying Austin Tyne could be the best player not only in this conference, which he is, but quite possibly the best player in the entire region. Austin Tyne averages 23 points, the 6-foot junior guard for Mitchell. For Bridgeport, Luis Garza, dual threat at 6'3". The senior averages 14.5 points per game, and Brady Newkirk in double figures at 10.5 points per contest. We'll get you the introduction of starting lineups here shortly when we come back right after this on the Rural Radio Network.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by WNCC, Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit, Shelter Insurance Travis Hawk, Ally Property Management, and by E&H CPAs. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Sean Harvey Farm Bureau, Platte Valley Companies, Johnson Cashway, Main Street Appliance, and by Panhandle Auto Group.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gearing, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gearing at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. Treatment you need and care you deserve.
This chair is way too big. It's perfect for us. This one's tiny. That's 'cause it's mine. Hey, this chair is just right. This bed is way too hard. It's perfect for me. This bed is way too soft. Just what I needed. This bed is just right. So come on over to Leeds Heads.
Basketball tournament. This championship game being played between the Mitchell Tigers and the Bridgeport Bulldogs.
Looking forward to our boys' Western Trails Conference Tournament Championship game here tonight. We're at Bridgeport High School, the one-year-only venue change from WNCC's Cougar Palace to Bridgeport High. to accommodate fans, but staying within the NSAA fan and protocol guidelines. Let's meet our starting lineups for both these teams. The Mitchell High Tigers, under the direction of head coach Jason Gregory, they are 14-7. Let's get to the starters. Francisco Barrios, a 6'1 senior, averages 14 a game. Mentioned Austin Tyne, a dominant force in the region. The junior at 6 foot tall is a 23-point per game scorer per night. Rylan Awayo, a 5'11 senior, averages 8 points a game. Selected officially to play in the Nebraska Shrine Bowl this summer, was a 2,000-yard rusher in the fall for Coach Cookshausen and the Tigers. Jaron Anderson, a starter, 6'1 senior, 9 points a game. And Francisco Alvazar, a 5'9 junior, he averages 3.5 points per game. We'll see plenty of Easton Anderson and Carter Reisig, an impressive freshman, off the bench for Mitchell. Now the starters for Sean Sturkel's Bridgeport Bulldogs. They are 16-2. Coach Sturkel's first season at the helm. Up off the bench first is Braxton Swires, a 5'10 junior. He averages 9 points a game. Now we'll meet Cole Fessler, a 5'9 senior. He scores 4 points a night.
A 6-foot senior, number 11,
Brady Newkirk, a 6-foot senior, 10.5 points per game. He's a 30% shooter from behind the arc. Jake Wallison, a 5'10 senior, scores 5 a night. And Luis Garza, 6'3 senior, who leads the team in scoring at 14.5 points per game. Bridgeport in the home whites. Mitchell, the road team tonight, with the traveling black uniforms. This should be a fun one. At points today, we've had a few blowouts. We've had a competitive girls rivalry game with Mitchell and Morrill. Now we settle in for this boys WTC championship game between Mitchell and Bridgeport. The back end of our quadruple header here on KNEB.TV. Chris Cottrell, glad to have you along and looking forward to this one. Glad we can bring it to you on a chilly night in western Nebraska. Settle in for a fun boys high school basketball game. Garza controls the tip, and with the basketball for Bridgeport, it's Cole Fessler, 5'9 senior guard, bounces it to Newkirk. They float it to the weak side. Now an early three-point field goal attempt goes awry for Braxton Swires. Mitchell's Francisco Barrios brings it across the timeline. Right side of the floor. It's an early turnover as Barrios loses it out of bounds. Nothing doing for either team on their first trip down the floor. Bridgeport's second crack at it. Newkirk behind the three-point arc. Bounces it to Wallison. Wallison averages 5, the senior. Now to Fessler. He'll bounce it down to the low post, and now Bridgeport turns it over for the first time. Couple of quick turnovers from both these clubs. Tyne gives it off to Alvazar. Now Barrios along the baseline. Some contact and an offensive foul called against Francisco Barrios. That'll be his first team foul. Still scoreless, 53 seconds in. Coverage of the Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament brought to you by Firehouse Bar and Grill, AA Feeds, E&H CPAs, Lessard Insurance, and John's Body Shop. We go under 1 minute gone by here in the first quarter. Still scoreless. Boys championship game for the Western Trails Conference Tournament. Here in the regular season so far, Bridgeport, a 3-point win on the road at Mitchell. Head coach Jason Gregory all the way down near the baseline, well beyond the end of his bench. Barkey, he wants to see a really good defensive performance tonight. We know Mitchell can find a way to put the ball in the hole. Can they lock down when needed defensively? Bridgeport, they won't shy away from grinding it out in the half court, although maybe opening things up a little bit more this year with the transition from Nick Brose to Sean Sturkel. Newkirk catches down low, throws it up in traffic. Offensive rebound. Garza can't finish it, but an offensive board number 2 on this possession. On the drive, it's Swires. It won't go. Loose underneath. Who wants it? Wallison trying to rip it away from Alvazar. Whistle, and it'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow gives it to Mitchell. A minute and 51 seconds gone by here in the opening stanza, and we're still scoreless at Bridgeport High. Championship game for the WTC and the boys bracket. Austin Tyne, this kid is something. He scores 23 a night. He's got Swires defending. On the right side, Jaron Anderson spins inside the arc, gives it to Barrios. Barrios finds a seam, gets that pass to Awayo, and Rylan Awayo, selected to play in the Shrine Bowl officially today by the Shrine Bowl committee, gets Mitchell on the board. It's a 2-0 start for the Tigers. Fessler on the right side wing, the lefty gives it to Garza. 6'3 senior, averages 14.5 a game. Cole Fessler, Wallison. Now it's Garza driving along the baseline, got deep, open look for Swires out of the left corner. That won't go. Board, Brady Newkirk. He's grabbed a couple of offensive rebounds early. Swires can't find the range. Now Awayo, outlet pass. It is Tyne. Blocking his shot from behind is Braxton Swires. Bridgeport quickly in transition the other way. Fessler passes up an open deep three. Garza won't pass it up, and he knocks it in from downtown. Luis Garza, and it's Bridgeport leading it 3-2. Now settling in, both these teams on the board for the first time. Tyne to Barrios, kicks it outside. Alvazar for three. That won't drop. Good box out for Swires. Outlet pass up ahead to Fessler. Fessler, Wallison, inside the arc. Cole Fessler now behind the three-point stripe. They give it off to Swires, 3-2 with 4 minutes and 25 seconds to play in the first quarter. Newkirk, and a turnover, second turnover of the game committed by Bridgeport. And that foul goes on Luis Garza, nickel dimer in the back court. You don't want to see that if you're Sean Sturkle. Bridgeport 16-2. Coach Sturkle comes this way. Of course, this is his alma mater, and he comes from Ainsworth High School. That was his last stop on the head coaching for the head coaching ranks. Alvazar into the front court. High post, Barrios on the touch. Boy, dangerous on the give-and-go action that time, and Mitchell's turned it over. That's their second turnover. Into the game, Baylor Sturkle. He's got a little bit of a three-point knack to him, shooting under 30%, but he can knock some down from long range. Now Bridgeport turns it over. That's three. Feeling out process here early. First game was at Mitchell. Playing on the road tonight are the Tigers. Tyne got the defender to fly by, dribbled back into a three-point field goal attempt, and off the mark for Austin Tyne, the junior guard. Garza hit one earlier, misses this one badly. Offensive rebound, Swires it won't go. Tyne up, and he clears the board. Outlet pass up ahead to Jaron Anderson. Anderson in traffic, and we're going to get a foul called against Braden Stoll. That'll be his first. 3-2, Bridgeport in a low-scoring first quarter with a 1-point lead. Two shots coming now for Jaron Anderson. He's a 62% foul shooter, scores 9 points a game on the season. We're tied at 3 on the Anderson make. Carter Rising, an impressive young freshman, checks in. Rising averages 8. He shoots the three ball at a 48% clip. And Anderson gets both at the line. 4-3, Mitchell with the early 1-point lead. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the opening stanza. On the dribble penetration, losing it. Rising just decided to grab it behind the back as he flips it to keep it in bounds. Tyne on the bounce. Lost it momentarily. Awayo picks it up. Under 3 to play in the quarter. Awayo on the drive. He took some contact. Bodied his way to the rim. Is super strong in the upper body. And Rylan Awayo has the first 2 baskets from the floor for Mitchell. They lead 6-3. Right side, Swires finds a cutter that time. That was Sturkle. Knocked away out of bounds by Francisco Alvazar. It'll stay with the Bulldogs here on the offensive end. Jake Wallison will check in at the next dead ball. Inbounds pass on the catch, and then a travel That's Braden Stoll. 4 turnovers committed by Bridgeport here in the opening quarter. 2:38 to play in the first. Mitchell leading 6-3. Mitchell has a huge road win under their belt at Scottsbluff. Their record is 14-7. The only 2 losses for Bridgeport at Hershey and at the SPVA tournament against North Platte St. Pat's. Another whistle and a foul. This will go on Braden Stoll. That'll be his second. So one of the key reserves with 2 quick fouls. Braxton Swires will come in now for Bridgeport. Sean Sturkle, the head coach for the Bulldogs. Jason Gregory, the head coach for Mitchell. Alvazar on the catch, fires it cross court. Jaron Anderson can't knock down the triple. No box out. Alvazar, layup wouldn't go. Offensive rebound, and Carter Reisig with the left hand. He's got his first basket off the bench. Mitchell leads by 5, 8-3. From the outside, it won't drop for Baylor Sturkle. Mitchell clears. Reisig gives it to Austin Tyne. Tyne fires it up ahead. Dangerous pass. It's knocked away and finally intercepted. 3rd turnover committed by the Tigers. Fessler. He is more of a distributor, not going to look for a shot all that often. Sometimes even left wide open, he'll just wait and try to find a play to make elsewhere. Swires, though, he will fire. Wallison puts it on the deck at the foul line. Boy, cleared some space with the offhand. No whistle either direction. And Wallison gets the bucket. Here comes Tyne. Up top, Carter Reisig. You can't leave him open, folks. He's a 48% three-point shooter. He's got 5 quick ones off the bench. And Mitchell forces the turnover. Awayo goes behind his back, almost lost it, throws it ahead to Alvazar. Wild shot. No, he gives it to Reisig. Carter Reisig has 7. It is 13-5 Mitchell with 60 seconds to play in the first quarter. Now we're going to get a bump as Baylor Sturkle put it on the floor. Carter Reisig called for the foul.
Reisig's first foul.
Yeah, I made note early this year in the Western Conference season opening tournament that Carter Reisig was quickly going to ascend in the Panhandle. Just a freshman. He's got the look. He's got the swagger. Everything about him on the basketball floor looks like a basketball player. He can score at all levels. And again, 48% from three-point range. Wallison in traffic, lost it out of bounds. That's a turnover. 5th of the first quarter committed by Bridgeport. 13-5 the lead for the Tigers. Now some full court pressure. Tyne handles the basketball. The junior guard averages 23 a night. Austin Tyne working against Braxton Swires. Tyne in traffic, forced the issue, and he got some contact. And Austin Tyne will head to the free throw line to shoot 2. .7 seconds left here in the first quarter. Tyne rips the net for his first point of the night. Awayo has 4, Reisig has 7, and now Tyne on the board with his first 2 points of the night. It's a 10-point Mitchell lead, 15-5, 30 seconds to go in the first. Fessler dribbles to his strong side, the left side of the floor. Now Swires. Reisig defending. They'll bounce it down low to Brady Newkirk. Help defense arrives from Francisco Barrios. That's a turnover, 6 of those in the quarter. Easton Anderson, if he gets hot, he can light it up. Misses the shot. Reisig, offensive board. With the left, he gets 2. Carter Reisig has 9 in the first quarter. 2 seconds to go in the quarter. Hoisting as the horn sounds off the mark. A great start on the road for Mitchell. Carter Reisig with 9 first quarter points. Mitchell in front after 1, 17-5 on the West Coast scoreboard. floor right now for Mitchell. Stoll, Sturkle, Fessler, Swires, and Garza. Barrios handles, works his way into the paint, feeds Jaron Anderson. Anderson got to the rim and got it to go. Got it over top of Luis Garza. Jaron Anderson has 4, and it's a 16-point Mitchell lead early in the second quarter. Braden Stoll on the left wing. Cutting to the bucket is Cole Fessler. Missed the layup. Easton Anderson couldn't hold on to the rebound. Lost control. It ricocheted off the head and out of bounds of Francisco Alvazar. 6:39 to play in the second quarter. Austin Tyne will get a breather. How about Mitchell up 21-5 and Tyne only with 2 free throws. Garza dumps it down low to Stoll, and that'll be a reach-in foul called against Easton Anderson, his first. 6:36 to play in the first half. Anderson picks up the personal.
Anderson's first foul.
Early this season, I saw him drop a ton of threes on Chadron in a great game in the Western Conference tourney. Comes off the bench for some instant offense at times. Garza in traffic. Rebounding Easton Anderson on the backside. They give it to Barrios. Under 6.5 to play in the first half. Francisco Barrios crosses over. Gets into the paint. Leaves it for Awayo. He left the jumper from the short corner a little short. And losing the basketball was Fessler, but they say out of bounds. And it was kicked out by, I'm not sure who it was, but it went off Mitchell. Stoll, Swires, Garza, Fessler, and Sturkle, the 5 on the deck right now for Sean Sturkle's bunch. 21-5 to score. Fessler picks up his dribble. Feeds it to Baylor Sturkle. Sturkle picks up his dribble in the left corner. Floats a pass to Garza. Rifles one underneath. Count it, and a foul. Braden Stoll gets the bucket. Chance for a three-point play. Let's see who they put that foul on the board for. Alvazar comes out, Tyne back on quickly. Not much of a breather for Austin Tyne. The foul goes to Francisco Alvazar, his first. Stoll on the year, a 67% free throw shooter. It's on the way. Little strong, and Awayo grabs the rebound. Awayo looks up the floor to Jaron Anderson. He'll slow the pace down, gets it to Barrios, brings it across the timeline. Barrios in traffic, lost it on the way up. Tyne hustling back defensively. It's Fessler, Awayo trailing. So after the Mitchell turnover, that was their 4th. Garza underneath, Stoll. Can't get it. Offensive board. Second chance opportunity, and Braden Stoll has the first 4 points of the quarter for Bridgeport, 21-9. The lead is 12. Cutting is Tyne. He went back to the outside to Awayo. Now Easton Anderson. Right side it comes to Jaron Anderson. Anderson lost the dribble momentarily. Ball loose on the floor. Still loose. And kicking it. Can he get there in time? He can't. That'll be Mitchell basketball. 21-9 with 4:58 to play in the quarter. Both these squads with 4 points here in this second stanza. Easton Anderson sits. Carter Reisig comes back in. He had 9 off the bench in that first quarter. Up the floor with the basketball comes Barrios. Barrios, dribble handoff action to Reisig. Reisig, good look with the left hand, and a blocking foul underneath will go against Cole Fessler. That'll be his first.
Fessler's second foul.
21-9 the score. 4:44 to go in the first half. Time to inbound. They'll screen across with Reisig. That'll free up Jaron Anderson, well behind the arc. Now they've got Tyne underneath. He'll go to the reverse layup. Count it! And a foul. Rylan Awayo pumped out near midcourt, as that's the first field goal of the night for Austin Tyne. And a chance for a three-point play. 23-9 the score.
First foul, 16 foul.
Tyne sinks the free throw. He's got 5 points in the half. And we're going to get a 30-second timeout taken by Mitchell head coach Jason Gregory. 4:37 to go in the first half, 24-9 Mitchell. Coverage of the Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Frankie's Bar, Shelter Insurance, Travis Hawk, Valley Auto Locators, Platte Valley Companies, and Regional West. Bridgeport turned it over 6 times in the first quarter. Mitchell's turned it over 4 times so far tonight, and they've got the lead 24-9 here with, well, they've got the countdown on the clock, count down the timeout. Second quarter with 4:37 to play. Out of the timeout come both teams. Garza, Wallison, Fessler, Stoll, and Swires for the Bulldogs. The Tigers with Jaron Anderson, Barrios, Sawayo, Reisig, and Tyne. They get it to Luis Garza. He hands it off to Wallison. Now Swires has it. Top of the key, Wallison. Right side, the left-handed guard. The broad-shouldered, thick-torsoed Cole Fessler driving along the baseline. It's Swires on the feed from Stoll. Couldn't get it to go. Underneath. And now the bucket for Braden Stoll. He's got 6 points in the quarter. All 6, in fact, for Bridgeport. Brady Newkirk gets off the bench, and he will check in. That's the second foul on Carter Reisig, and Reisig will sit. Big whistles. The talented freshman goes to the bench for the Tigers. We'll see if he's able to get back on the floor here in the first half. Able to convert the three-point play. That's Braden Stoll. He's got 7, all in the quarter. Tyne throws it away. The steal for Wallison. Wallison, pump fake, count it. Good job by Barrios to avoid the contact and a possible three-point play. As Wallison gets the bucket, he's got 4, and the Mitchell lead is cut to 10. 24-14 with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And now a travel. The violation called against Jaron Anderson. Mitchell's turned it over 3 times here in the second quarter. They lead 24-14, 3:37 to go in the first half. Cole Fessler brings it across the timeline. They'll bounce it to Braden Stoll. Top of the key, now inside the arc. Jaron Anderson defends. Right side, Fessler. Stoll. Now Swires holds. We near the 3-minute mark in the half. Newkirk. Left side, Swires. Open look for Fessler. Doesn't take the 3. Tries to bully ball his way to the rim. Now it's Wallison with a runner off the glass. Jake Wallison has 4 in the quarter, 6 in the game. And Bridgeport goes to a little full court man-to-man pressure. 24-16 the score. Mitchell leads it by 8. Feeding it to Awayo. Awayo feeds the perimeter. And I think Alvazar got away with a travel. Top of the key, Jaron Anderson. That 3 ball off the front iron. Rebounded by Brady Newkirk. Stoll up the floor quickly. Bridgeport with a transition opportunity. Can they pay it off with Brady Newkirk? They sure can. Brady Newkirk knocks down the tray. And we've got a 5-point game. Mitchell leads 24-19. Bouncing it to Alvazar, and now Mitchell throwing it away. I think Jason Gregory is going to take a timeout as things are starting to get away from Mitchell here. 2:14 to play in the half. Bridgeport on the comeback trail. Mitchell leads 24-19 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Castle & Cook Mortgage, Emerald Court, Valley Auto Locators, Prima, and by Regional West.
Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge. What is Hydrozen? It's total body relaxation. It's total body recharge. It's floating weightless on water. Floating your aches, pains, stresses, and worries away. Hydrozen is a revolutionary new therapy using Epsom salt saturated water as a way to relax and rejuvenate your body. And it's now available in Scottsbluff. It is for most ages and has many benefits to the mind and body. Visit hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT.
KDB.TV coverage of the Western Trails Conference Tournament, the boys' championship game, 2:14 to play in the half. Bridgeport trailed 17-5 at the end of the first quarter. It's now Mitchell leading 24-19 as they've cut into that deficit by 7. Luis Garza gives it to Cole Fessler. Bridgeport in the half court offensively. Fessler being defended by Ohio. Alvazar up top. They'll lob it down low to Newkirk, who can't score it with the left. Knocked away out of bounds. Last touch by Jaron Anderson. It'll stay with Bridgeport. Inbounding is Braxton Swires. Braden Stoles come off the bench and provided a huge lift. And now a turnover. Live ball in the open court. Block shot. Garza swats it away from Jaron Anderson. That was Bridgeport's 7th turnover. And now what do we have? A kick ball. It'll stay with the Bulldogs. Was mentioning Stoll. He's come off the bench and scored 7 here in this quarter to really give Bridgeport a big boost. The home crowd is starting to take effect a little bit here in this quarter as well. Swires throws it in. Ohio gets a steal. Beautiful steal. Stole it in the air. Fed the basketball to Francisco Barrios all in one motion. And Barrios, who averages 14, has his first basket of the night. Fessler picks up his dribble. Wallison now driving the baseline. Brady Newkirk, it would not go. Ball still being batted around. It's loose, out of bounds. Last touch by Luis Garza, I believe, of the Bulldogs. It'll go to Mitchell. Tyne inbounds it to Alvazar. Quickly ahead to Barrios. Rising, the talented freshman on the bench with 2 fouls. Ohio, right side. Up top, Jaron Anderson thought about the 3, and then he throws it away. They had some miscommunication. I don't know if he wanted Alvazar or Tyne kind of floating towards the corner. Either way, he split the difference, and that ball sailed into the stands. Mitchell, 4 turnovers in the quarter, 7 for the game. They lead by 7 as we've got 60 seconds to go in the first half. Fessler leaves it for Garza. Garza well behind the arc. Swings the ball from left to right, gives it to Fessler. 50 seconds to go. Fessler probing. Ball poked away, hand in the passing lane, knocked out of bounds by Francisco Alvazar. Baylor Sturkle checks in, as does Braden Stoll. It's Fessler and Newkirk to the bench for Bridgeport. Both head coaches have been coaching hard during the timeouts, and we're going to get another one as Sean Sturkle, the first-year head man for the Bulldogs, calls a timeout, and teams head to their benches. Coverage of the Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by WNCC, Dave's Pharmacy, Greg's Auto Body and Paint, Papa Murphy's Pizza, and State Farm, Joe Mejia. Entertaining contest here tonight at Bridgeport High School. 1 year only for the venue change for the semifinal and championship Saturday games from WNCC. This year only here at Bridgeport. A 7-point lead coming down the stretch in the first half for Mitchell. It's 26-19. It was a 68-65, fairly high-scoring matchup the first time these two played. Bridgeport led by double digits much of that game, and Mitchell able to rally back and really have a chance to steal it from Bridgeport in the closing minutes, but the Bulldogs were able to hold on and win it by 3. Stoll takes the inbounds pass. 42 seconds to go in the first half. Swires almost slid that foot for a travel. Instead, he kept it tight to the ground. Underneath, Stoll continues his outstanding half of action. Braden Stoll has 9 points in the quarter, single-handedly doing a great job keeping Bridgeport in this ball game. Tyne loses Swires momentarily. Austin Tyne on the bounce, stays on the dribble. Can Mitchell stay patient and get the final shot of the quarter? Outside, Jaron Anderson. Anderson lost it on the way up. Ball loose on the floor. Who touched it last? Bridgeport did. It'll stay with Mitchell. 4.9 to play. Barrios will inbound with 4.9 on the clock. Tyne cuts to the basket on the catch, whips a pass to the corner. Jaron Anderson late in the half, can't get it to go. The buzzer sounds, and entertaining, fairly quick first half of action comes to a close with Mitchell leading Bridgeport as we've reached halftime of the boys' WTC championship game. Mitchell leads Bridgeport 26-21 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Castle & Cook Mortgage, Emerald Court, Valley Auto Locators, Prima, and by Regional West. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Trinidad Benham, Runza Restaurants, Dooley Oil, Bayard Tiger Paws, and by Frankie's Bar.
Hey, I've been hanging out here a long time outside of Panhandle Auto Group, and boy, do they have a great selection of vehicles.
And their sales team is great to work with, and you can also get your vehicle serviced and detailed too.
Welcome to Panhandle Auto. This is Sam Serta, General Sales Manager. It's been our pleasure to serve you for the past 2 years. At Panhandle Auto, we have a seat for everybody. Whether you need a vehicle for yourself, a son, or daughter, our team will go above and beyond to satisfy your needs and even your dreams. So again, thank you from Sam Serta, General Sales Manager at Panhandle Auto, for allowing us to earn your business. At Panhandle Auto,
It's time for something different.
This chair is way too big. It's perfect for us. This one's tiny. That's because it's mine. Hey, this chair is just right. This bed is way too hard. It's perfect for me. This bed is way too soft. Just what I needed. This bed is just right. So come on over to Leeds Heads.
We're back. Halftime score for our boys' Western Trails Conference Tournament Championship game. At the break, Mitchell on the road. A true road game tonight here at Bridgeport. They lead the Bulldogs by the score of 26-21. Coverage of the Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament all day long. Quadruple header for you on KDB.TV is brought to you by the Western Nebraska Pioneers, Panhandle Trails, Intercity Public Transit, Johnson Cashway, and the Mitchell Care Center. 26-21. Mitchell got out to a 17-5 lead at the end of the first quarter. Here it's a 5-point margin as Bridgeport cuts into it by 7. Braden Stoll had a huge second stanza for the Bulldogs, scoring all 9 of his first half points in that second quarter. Jake Wallison has 6. 3 points apiece for Brady Newkirk and Luis Garza. Bridgeport has hit 2 3-point field goals so far tonight. Mitchell has just the 1 triple. That came from Carter Reisig, who had a 9-point first quarter. That's 6'1" freshman Carter Reisig. He leads Mitchell at halftime with those 9. 5 points for Austin Tyne. He's been fairly quiet. Rylan Awayo with 4. Jaron Anderson has 4. 2 points apiece for Francisco Barrios and Francisco Alvazar. That's your scoring recap for these two clubs here at halftime. Unofficially, I've got Bridgeport with 8 turnovers and Mitchell with 7. We'll step away, come back, and recap the consolation games from earlier and the girls' blowout win for Bridgeport in the championship side for the girls' bracket. Halftime score here at Bridgeport. Boys title game for the WTC tourney. Mitchell leads Bridgeport 26-21 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Scottsbluff Body and Paint, Parker, Lessard Insurance, and by Ideal Linen and Uniform and Bluff Sanitary Supply. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Papa Murphy's, John's Body Shop, the Western Nebraska Pioneers, and by Greg's Auto Body and Paint.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventive and rehabilitative treatments that dysfunction and promote.
They blast Gordon Rushville. The final was 80-36. They got a big effort from freshman. This freshman is something, folks. A 5'10 freshman point guard in girls high school basketball. Olivia Loomis-Girdle scored 21. What a player and what a future for the Bridgeport freshman. Sophomore, bigger sister, Ruthie Loomis-Girdle, she's 6'2", offers a completely different skill set. She had 15 points. Bridgeport rolls to the conference tourney title 80-36. In our first game of the day in the girls' third place matchup, Mitchell beat Morrow by 15, 50-35. They hit 13 of 14 at the free throw line in the fourth quarter to salt that game away. 13 points led the way for Jaden Kano as Mitchell got their 10th win of the season. 15-point victory over arch rival Morrill, 50-35. And then the boys' third place game, Gordon Rushville, really no issues whatsoever. They beat Baird by the final of 59-40. We'll step away. One more break here at halftime. We'll come back with third quarter action right after this on the Rural Radio Network.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Firehouse Bar and Grill, AA Feeds, Wiedemann Financial, Mitchell Care Center, and by Viero Wireless. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by WNCC, Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit, Shelter Insurance Travis Hawk, Ally Property Management, and by E&H CPAs.
Many people count on space heaters and electric blankets to help stay warm in the winter. Here are a few safety tips. Space heaters need space all around them. Only buy space heaters that are tested and labeled by a national recognized facility. Before using a space heater or electric blanket, inspect the cord for cracks or warm spots. Finally, turn off electric blankets when not in use. Space heaters and electric blankets can provide needed comfort or can be deadly if not used with care. So use caution this winter season. This message is brought to you by Chimney Rock Public Power District, your touchstone energy partner, the power of human connections.
Second half action underway. Mitchell starts with the basketball. They lead it here on the road at Bridgeport tonight, 26-21. Austin Tyne, a fairly quiet first half. Really not a lot of shot attempts. He comes out firing here, catches on the right wing, and off the mark with that opening three-point attempt. Bridgeport has it for the first time, 26-21. Expect maybe a little slow build with the crowd to get back to full throat. Things were getting pretty loud in here late in that first half when Bridgeport was starting to make their run to get back in the ball game. Brady Newkirk bodies up Barrios. Jumper from the outside. Cole Fessler finally lets loose with a three ball, knocks it in, and it's 26-24. Jaron Anderson catches on the right side wing. Now Alvazar. Alvazar gives to Barrios. He's not taking a lot of shots tonight either. Anderson catches in the left corner. Now Alvazar, Francisco Barrios, about 5 feet behind the arc. Alvazar, Awayo, Barrios. A little over a minute gone by here in the third quarter. They dump it to Tyne. Cutting to the bucket is Jaron Anderson. Beautiful feed from Austin Tyne. And Anderson finishes at the rim. He has 6. Back to a 4-point lead for Mitchell. 28-24, 6:27 to play in the third quarter. Garza lobs it down low to Newkirk. Open look. That's a three ball out of the left corner for Braxton Swires. The lead for Mitchell right now at 1. Barrios uses a high screen, and we're going to get a foul called on Brady Newkirk.
Newkirk's first foul. First team foul.
Newkirk whistled for the foul. That's his first. Alvazar now high post. Jaron Anderson gives to Awayo. Awayo, long two-point jumper. Boy, that hit the heel of the iron, kind of laid there and decided to just roll on in for the long two-point field goal for Rylan Awayo. He has 6 points. Wallison, now Swires on the drive, open underneath, couldn't finish Newkirk. And here comes Barrios. Up the floor, bounce pass to Alvazar, flips it to Jaron Anderson. Anderson with a little floater with the right hand. The teardrop falls. Jaron Anderson has 4 quick ones here in this third quarter. And a steal. 9th turnover of the game committed by the Bulldogs. Tyne has it. He's also not been handling the ball as much as you would expect tonight. Barrios, he knocks it in from deep. Tickling the twine. Francisco Barrios has 5. The lead grows to 8 for Mitchell, 35-27, a 5-0 run. Catching down low, Fessler to Newkirk. That three ball left it short. I believe that was touched last by Jake Wallison. It's out of bounds, and Mitchell gets it back. Flat release that time from Brady Newkirk. He'll head to the bench. Checking into the game is Braden Stoll, who was outstanding in the first half, especially the second quarter. Here comes Tyne. Swires defending Austin Tyne. A little bit of a crossover. Good job by Swires keeping him in front. Now Anderson, Alvazar. Awayo's going to shoot the three. We're going to get a whistle and a foul, and that'll go the other direction. The foul goes on Austin Tyne. First foul on Tyne. And remember, Carter Rising, the freshman for Mitchell, had 9 in the first quarter, picked up his second foul with about 4 and change left in the first half and did not come back into the game. We await his entrance here in the second half. 4 minutes, 25 seconds to play in the third. Wallison with Alvazar hounding him. Fessler thought about the three. Awayo's on him. They'll bounce it down to Stoll. Stoll turns middle. In traffic, Braden Stoll reaches double figures. He's got 11. He's been excellent with that 6'3 frame in the low block area. That ball is tipped in the air. And we're going to get a foul called against Mitchell, and I think that's Jaron Anderson. Nope. Barrios.
Barrios, second foul.
Second foul on
Second team foul.
Francisco Barrios. 35-29 the score. Stoll inbounds the basketball, and Fessler will handle the point guard across the timeline. Into the front court for the Bulldogs. Garza behind the arc and sets a screen, and we're going to get a foul called against Rylan Awayo. And here comes Carter Reisig. He'll come on for Barrios.
Third team foul.
It's 35-29. The lob comes into Garza, wide open three, couldn't get it to go. Up for the rebound, Austin Tyne. He'll fire up ahead to Awayo. They feed Carter Reisig. Reisig can't get the three to go. Outlet pass to Luis Garza. Tyne, they let him play on, and Garza scores at the rim. Just his second basket. He has 5, back to a 4-point game. Alvazar to Awayo. Jaron Anderson for 3. Left it short, and here come the Bulldogs with the run out. They've got a 3-on-1. They leave it for Sturkle, and it's a 2-point game. Baylor Sturkle in transition. Bridgeport trails 35-33. Mitchell getting a little frenetic with it, and we get a reach-in foul after a turnover. Really a good foul picked up by Alvazar. It prevented an easy basket to tie the game, and now Bridgeport will have to work a little harder to get even. 2:53 to play here in the third.
Fourth team foul.
Jake Wallison comes on for Cole Fessler. Baylor Sturkle triggers the inbounds pass. Into Stoll, who's been outstanding. Swires dribbles inside the arc, now Garza. Garza leaves it underneath, stolen away by Carter Reisig. He's tripped up. A foul's going to go against Bridgeport's Luis Garza.
Garza, second foul.
Second foul on Garza. Second team foul here in the half on Bridgeport. Mitchell leads 35-33. They led by 5 at half. They've led by as many as 8 here in the third quarter. Austin Tyne brings it across the timeline. Tyne between the legs. He's got Swires defending. And that pass deflected, intercepted. Here comes Swires. Mitchell's turned it over twice in the quarter, 9 times in the game. Open look for the lead. Would not go. Offensive rebound. Swires for 3 in the lead. That's a no-go. Rebounded by Alvazar. Tyne head up. He'll push across into the front court. High screen set by Jaron Anderson. Austin Tyne can't get it. He's yet to knock down a 3-point field goal. And they had Swires wide open on the other end, but first off, they had to save the ball. Sturkle nearly probably got called for an offensive foul for a push-off. Sturkle for the lead, no. They've had 3 3-point field goal attempts the last 2 possessions, unable to take the lead, but now we get an offensive rebound, and Garza's going to step to the foul line to shoot 2.
Reisig's third foul.
That's the third foul on Carter Reisig. And Garza makes it a 1-point game. Garza, a 49% free throw shooter. Misses that one. Ball loose. Picked up by Awayo. Barrios is back in. Tynes in the far right corner. Easton Anderson, his minutes have been fairly limited tonight, and that might be a reason why. Throws it away in the open floor. A run out the other direction for Baylor Sturkle. He's got both his baskets here in the quarter. Easton Anderson walked with it, and they're going to have to get him out of the ballgame, I would think. Back-to-back turnovers in a super tight matchup here on the road in a hostile environment. 30-second timeout taken by Jason Gregory, the head coach for Mitchell. 36-35. Bridgeport now with a 1-point lead. Easton Anderson has turned it over on back-to-back possessions for the Tigers. Coverage of the Western Trails Conference basketball tournament is brought to you by Runza Restaurants, Panhandle Co-op, Farmers State Bank, Main Street Appliance, and Trinidad Benham. 36-35. 1-point lead for the home standing Bulldogs here this evening. They've trailed by as many as 8 here in the third on a little bit of a spurt right now with 80 seconds to go in the quarter. 36-35. Stoll's been excellent. He's got 11. Sturkle's got 4 in the quarter. And some sloppy offensive possessions from Mitchell have got them now trailing by a point. Austin Tyne averages 23. He has just 5. Sturkle thought about the deep 3. Wallison. Barrios got a hand into the passing lane. Couldn't hold on to it, but knocked it away out of bounds. It'll stay. Bridgeport ball over near the far corner, but up the sideline a little bit. Pretty good angle to play it in from. They get it to Fessler. Now Wallison, 65 seconds to play in the third. Reisig on the floor with 3 fouls, defends against Stoll. They lob it underneath to Newkirk, and we're going to get a whistle, jump ball, possession arrow. It'll stay with Bridgeport. 57.5 to play in the third. 1-point ball game. We knew it'd be a dandy. It's turned out to be exactly that. They lob it into Braden Stoll. Stoll gives it to Fessler. Back to Braden Stoll. Now Sturkle. Under 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Fessler puts it on the deck. Now picks up his dribble. Sturkle has it. And there's a turnover as Wallison throws it away, trying to slide one in on the bounce to Braden Stoll. Austin Tyne can't get by a defender, and we're going to get a blocking foul called against Stoll. That'll be his third.
Stoll's third foul. 13
Swire's off the bench. He'll come in. Stoll will head to the bench. The inbounds pass comes to Reisig, the freshman on the turnaround. It won't go. Offensive rebound. Easton Anderson. Aguayo will not drop. Ball loose. And that'll be the 4th foul on Carter Reisig. A huge call, number 4 on Reisig. And Reisig has hampered his own ability to impact this ball game since about the 4-minute mark of the first half. He'll have to sit for quite a while now with 4, and he's frustrated. 36-35, 15 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Bridgeport with a 1-point lead, looking for the final shot of the quarter. 7 seconds to play. Open look for Sturkle out of the left corner. Wouldn't go. Tipped, and that'll be a foul on Brady Newkirk. Will head the other way. That'll be the 4th team foul, so it'll be a tough spot here for Mitchell.
Newkirk, second foul.
1.5 on the clock. Tyne will play it in. They lob it to Barrios. Barrios couldn't control it. We are through 3. We'll head to the 4th. It's Bridgeport surging in front. They lead by 1 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Castle & Cook Mortgage, Emerald Court, Valley Auto Locators, Prima, and by Regional West.
No matter what the groundhog says, you'll be mowing before you know it this spring. The best way to make sure you're ready for the first blades of grass is to take advantage of Sandberg Honda's Spring Tune-Up Special. From now until May 31st, schedule your lawnmower tune-up and receive free pickup and delivery in Scottsbluff and Gearing. As a bonus, schedule service by March 10th and save with the early bird special. Call Sandberg Honda at 436-2179 for details and to schedule your spring lawnmower tune-up today. Back on KDB.TV. Should have an exciting fourth quarter on our hands here at Bridgeport High, 36-35. 8 on the clock, 1 point lead for Bridgeport. As they erase a 5-point deficit at halftime, they outscore Mitchell by 6 in the third, and they lead it by 1. Quiet night for Austin Tyne. He has 5. He also has the basketball and a reach-in foul from behind called against Braxton Swires. That'll be the 5th team foul on Bridgeport.
Swires, first foul. 5th team foul.
First foul on Swires. Tyne gives it to Barrios. Now Alvazar out high. Early here in the fourth. Right side, Tyne. Cutting to the bucket is Alvazar. He gets it to Jaron Alvarez. Now it's Alvazar. Back to Anderson. Up top, Easton Anderson. He's been quiet. Couple of crucial bad turnovers, back-to-back possessions in that third quarter. It's out of bounds. Last touch by Bridgeport. It'll stay with the Mitchell Tigers. 7:30 to go in the game. Austin Tyne will inbound. They'll throw it in out high to Jaron Anderson. Now Francisco Barrios. The backcourt combo of Barrios and Tyne is combined for just 10 points on the night. Tyne posting. They lob it to Austin Tyne. Catches in traffic. And Tyne now has 7, and Mitchell surges back in front, 37-36. Braden Stoll leaves it on the dribble. Picking it up is Swires, and then that's Fessler on the drive. Cole Fessler has his second field goal. He's got 5 points. It's 38-37, Bridgeport with a 1-point lead. Tyne to Jaron Anderson. Offensive foul called against Austin Tyne. Got in the air, threw it to his right to Anderson. The contact and the foul, the charge. It goes against Austin Tyne, his second. 38-37.
Team foul.
6 minutes and 40 seconds to play here in regulation. Fessler being hounded by Alvazar. A fun boys title game tonight here in Bridgeport. It's Baylor Sturkle in traffic, lost it on the way up. Jaron Anderson grabs it. A turnover committed by Bridgeport. Now Jaron Anderson couldn't get that runner to go, hit that same shot earlier. Bridgeport with the ball, leading by 1. Braxton Swires out high. He'll give it to Cole Fessler. They'll settle things down. He'll leave it for Luis Garza. A lot of the big names have had quiet nights. Garza has just 6. Fessler enters it down low. Garza, good look across the paint. Ball loose on the floor. Picked up by Mitchell. Easton Anderson, outlet pass to Alvazar. Up top, Barrios to Alvazar. Back down low, Barrios on the catch. In traffic, it won't go. He got hammered. He'll get 2 at the free throw line.
Garza's third foul.
5:38 to go in the ball game.
Team foul.
Barrios ties it at 38. Barrios has 6. There have not been a lot of free throw attempts tonight. Mitchell I've got him down as now 7 for 7. Mitchell in front by 1, 39-38. Across the timeline with the basketball is Cole Fessler. Alvazar defends. Right side Swires. He's got Tyne on him. Fessler, Garza for a deep 3 and a 2-point lead for the Bulldogs. Luis Garza now with 9, approaching double figures. Alvazar gives it to Barrios. Barrios zigzags his way up the floor, working against Braden Stoll. Now it's Easton Anderson. Tyne wants the ball in the post. He catches. Goes up, off the iron, wouldn't go. Barrios in traffic, fouled on the shot. And 2 more free throws coming for Francisco Barrios. He's a 56% shooter, is all at the stripe, but he did hit his 2 attempts moments ago.
7th team foul.
Back for 2 more for Barrios. Calm and collected on these last 3 releases at the stripe. Awayo back in for some senior leadership as Easton Anderson, the sophomore, goes to the bench. Carter Reisig, the freshman, saddled in foul trouble most of the night. He's on the bench with 4. 4 for 4 at the line in the quarter for Barrios. We're tied at 41. 4 minutes and 51 seconds to play in the game. Stoll. Now Swires, right side. Fessler. Swires on target from deep.
Warriors for 3.
And a 3-point lead. Biggest of the ball game now for Bridgeport, 44-41. Tyne continues to want the ball in the post. Little turnaround jumper off the mark. Ball loose, hustling after it. Jaron Anderson, Tyne has it. He'll put it on the deck. Flips it to the perimeter. Alvazar for the tie, wouldn't go. Ball tipped up, who wants it? Touch last by Bridgeport. It'll stay with Mitchell. Jake Wallison will come back into the game now for the Bulldogs. 4:12 to go in our boys' title game. Barrios receives the inbounds pass. Dangerous pass, just didn't need it in that spot. And now it's Fessler on the wing right side. Garza posting down low. Swires again. Off the mark. Awayo grabs the rebound for Mitchell. Barrios. Carter Reisig will check back in. Next dead ball. Tyne had good position. Goes up. It was blocked from behind by Braxton Swires. Swires has done a good job defensively. Stoll in traffic, whistle, foul, 2 shots coming at the line for Braden Stoll. 3 minutes and 34 seconds to play in the game. It's 44-41.
Barrios, 3rd foul.
3rd foul on Barrios. It's Stoll to shoot 2. 67% at the stripe. And a 4-point lead here in the 4th for the home Bulldogs. Braden Stoll has 12. Fessler out, Sturkle in. Alvazar sits. Mitchell gets a little more height on the floor now with Reisig, who checks back in with 4 personals. He scored 9 in the first quarter. He has not scored since. Braden Stoll, a couple of big makes. The lead is 5. And where's the answer for Mitchell come from? It's got to be Austin Tyne. Whether setting somebody up or finding a way to put the ball in the hole. Tyne has it. Awayo. Reisig. Anderson on the drive. I think Garza, it sounded like all ball, but somebody got some body contact. We've got a shooting foul. And Jaron Anderson will go to the line. He's a 62% shooter at the stripe. 3:15 to play here in regulation. And Mitchell's fine shooting at the line continues. Jaron Anderson is 3 for 3 at the stripe. He has 9 points. Mitchell trims the Bridgeport lead to 4. Second on the way. Anderson again. Mitchell is 6 for 6 at the line in the quarter. They are 11 out of 11 by my numbers. Swires goes behind his back. In traffic, Garza thought about the 3, nearly walked with it. They get it up top, Swires. Swires, no. Offensive rebound, open look, Baylor. Sturkle got it from the left corner. Sturkle, a big tray ball. He's got 12 points tonight. No, check that. Sturkle's got 7. Wrote it down for Garza. Now Reisig to Barrios. Barrios in traffic, too strong off the square. Danger zone right now for Mitchell. On the road, hostile environment. Down 6 and having to play some defense. Wallison. Sturkle again, same spot, same result. Baylor Sturkle making it rain out of the left corner. Little bit of a smile on the face of Sean Sturkle. We head to a timeout. Bridgeport leads by 9 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Trinidad Benham, Runza Restaurants, Dooley Oil, Bayard Tiger Paws, and by Frankie's Bar.
For more than 162 years, FNBO has been with you where you are. A bank committed to helping you earn more and save more, so you can do more, both big and small. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank.
.212 to go in the game. Bridgeport has surged their way to a 9-point lead in prime position to win the WTC tournament on their home floor here tonight. Mitchell going to have to score it in bunches here, plus get some stops in the final 2 minutes of the game. Jaron Anderson out high. We're going to get a whistle and a hold, a foul against Bridgeport's Braxton Swires, who's been excellent defensively tonight against Austin Tyne. I believe he's had him one-on-one quite a bit all night long. Swires over to visit with the near side official. Tyne shoots free throws at an 80% clip. Just 8 points tonight for Austin Tyne. Been a quiet offensive evening. A much lower scoring game between these two. Mitchell still has not missed at the line, and yet they're down by 7. Wallison, crossover, and then behind his back. Wallison gives it to Sturkle. Sturkle, now we get a turnover, maybe loose on the floor. It's Swires. Whistle, what do we have? A jump ball, possession arrow. It'll stay with the Bulldogs. Sturkle, 2 monster trays on back-to-back trips earlier have provided the separation that Bridgeport needed. The inbounds pass comes to Stoll. Braden Stoll, he was excellent in the second quarter. Blocking foul against Rylan Owayo. 2 at the line coming for Braxton Swires.
Owayo's second foul, 9th team foul.
Swires this year at the line shoots 73%. Off the mark on the first. Minute and 32 seconds to go here in regulation. A 7-point lead for Bridgeport. Swires to make it 8, and he does. Swires on time. And a steal. Baylor Sturkle has it. Sturkle gives it to Garza. Back to Sturkle. Extra pass. Garza finishes. And it's now a 10-point lead. Will that be enough for Bridgeport? Into double figures for Luis Garza. He has 11. 10-point lead. We go under a minute to play. A turnover. Garza on the run out. Rising lets him go. And it is all Bridgeport down the stretch. Outscoring Mitchell by 11 in the fourth quarter, and now they throw it away. The Tigers crumbling on the road. (57-45). And now a foul's going to go against Austin Tyne. Mitchell looking like, well, just frustration is setting in as the writing's on the wall here in this one. Bridgeport going to head to the winner's circle on their home floor. And now what awaits us for the Roads in the drive home? At the line, a free throw make for Jake Wallison. Second on the way. Wallison rattles it in. He's got 8. 40 seconds to go. All Bridgeport down the stretch. They lead it by 14 points. Cutting to the bucket. Barrios had the shot blocked by Garza. Bridgeport really just manned up and efforted their way to the win here in this second half.
Barrios, fourth foul.
Fourth foul on Francisco Barrios. 28 seconds to go in the game. We hope to visit with Sean Sturkle on our quick post-game show. Wallison off the mark, a quadruple header of WTC basketball today on KNEB.TV. We hope you've enjoyed the afternoon and evening of hoops on a frigid afternoon and night here in the Panhandle. 1-2 for Jake Wallison. 60-45. Barrios pumps, fires the triple. That's off the mark. Tyne underneath the O board. Fouled on the way up. He'll shoot 2 at the stripe.
Swires, third foul. 10th.
Third foul on Braxton Swires. And Tyne Mitchell, if my numbers are correct, they have still not missed at the free throw line, and yet they're going to lose this ball game by double digits. Wallison sprints it into the front court. Rising, a foul from behind to extend the game for just a few more moments. That's the 5th on Carter Rising. Boy, he got off to such a fast start. 9 points in the first quarter, and then foul trouble set in, and Carter Rising finishes with 9 points for the ball game. Jake Wallison one more time to the line here down the stretch. He's 3 for 4 in the fourth quarter. 10 seconds to go in the game. (60-47) after the Wallison miss. One more on the way from the senior guard. Missed them both. Rebounded by Jaron Anderson. 8 seconds to play. Barrios inside the arc. They'll feed it to Awayo. The 3 off the back of the iron. Garza the rebound. Our final score, Bridgeport, your WTC tournament champions on the boys' side with a 60-47 home floor victory over Mitchell. We'll step away and come back with a post-game show right after this. Mitchell wins it by 13 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Scottsbluff Body and Paint, Parker, Lessard Insurance, and by Ideal Linen and Uniform and Bluff Sanitary Supply. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Papa Murphy's, John's Body Shop, the Western Nebraska Pioneers, and by Greg's Auto Body and Paint.
I've struggled with my weight since I was 13, but weight loss surgery changed my life. I've lost 120 pounds, 80 inches, and gained a whole new outlook on life.
Weight loss surgery may be the answer to your weight and health problems. Regional West offers the support of skilled surgeons and a dedicated bariatric team for your journey to a healthier you. Learn more about weight loss options at Regional West. It's time for a new you.
Hey all, Heather here with Platte Valley Vac & Sew. Platte Valley Vac & Sew has been a cornerstone in downtown Scottsbluff since 1977. Our family brings over 100 years combined experience in the vacuum and sewing machine industry. We stand behind all of our products with a warranty you can trust and service you can count on. Whether you decide to shop in-store or online at PlatteValleyVacandSew.com, our quality products and customer care shine through. You can buy online, sign up for classes, see a calendar of classes and events, view our newsletter, and stay up to date. Platte Valley Vac & Sew, downtown Scottsbluff, and online to serve you.
TV. The Bridgeport Bulldogs win the boys tournament championship here for this year's Western Conference tourney as they defeat Mitchell by the final of 60-47. Let's take a look at our scoring leaders for both teams tonight. We'll start with the victorious Bridgeport Bulldogs. Sean Sturkel's first season as head coach. He's a WTC tourney champ. They are now 17-2. Luis Garza and Braden Stoll each with 13. Baylor Sturkel had 10 and 2 monster triples in the fourth. 9 points for Jake Wallison. You had Brady Newkirk with 3, Cole Fessler with 5. Braxton Swires scored 7, and he was excellent on the defensive end of the floor. Austin Tyne led Mitchell with 11. Jaron Anderson was in double figures with 10. 9 for Francisco Barrios and Carter Reisig. 6 for Rylan Awayo. And 2 points in the ball game for Francisco Alvazar. Bridgeport pulls the double as they win both the boys and the girls Western Trails Conference tournament championships here this evening. We hope to visit with Bridgeport head coach Sean Sturkel here during the post-game show.
Number 23, Cade Loomis.
Final score 60-47. We'll take another timeout. When we come back, we'll try to track down head coach Sean Sturkel right after this on the Rural Radio Network.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Firehouse Bar and Grill, AA Feeds, Wiedemann Financial, Mitchell Care Center, and by Viero Wireless. Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by WNCC, Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit, Shelter Insurance Travis Hawk, Ally Property Management, and by E&H CPAs.
Finally, goodbye like 2020. There was one good thing about 2020. That was the prices. And this is your last chance to get last year's prices at Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming. That's 20% off every window and door. Plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Only at Renewal by Anderson. But hurry, because 2020 pricing is only available until February 15th. Book your free estimate today. Call Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming at 307-215-7493.
Logos in Gearing is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees, and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gearing.
You want to play with Chris's water bottle?
Chris Cottrell back with you tonight on KNEB.TV. The back end of our quadruple header for you today from the Western Trails Conference Tournament. A thriller here at Bridgeport High School as the Bulldog boys in comeback fashion defeat Mitchell 60-47 as first-year head coach Sean Sterkel is a Western Trails Conference champion as a head coach at his alma mater. Pleased to have Coach with us here on the post-game show. Coach, you guys really just manned up, and when the chips were down in the second half, you guys showed a lot of toughness and getting the job done on your home floor. How proud of your team are you?
Just, the thing the message we've been talking about is just continue to fight, continue to compete. It's always not going to be in our favor, if you will. And to start the game, boy, Mitchell was on. I thought we forced some tough contested shots, but they hit those shots. And our guys, got down big early. But their willingness just to come together and continue to fight and compete, I'm happy for them.
Also early, you guys turned it over, and I'm sure in your opinion at a pretty alarming rate. I had you for like 6, maybe 7 turnovers. I wasn't sure on that 7th, but that gave you some empty possessions and them some free trips on the other end.
Yeah, and I mean, turnovers and rebounds. That's been our stressor this year, and games where we struggle rebounding or if we're loose with the basketball, usually problems are occurring and not in our favor. But it's part of the game. Basketball is not a game of absolutes. You have to weather storms. You have to weather lulls and just find a way to make winning plays, whether it's defensive rebounding, whether it's screening a teammate open, and just keep pushing forward.
Second quarter, you turned to the bench, and Braden Stoll came up huge. He had 9 points, showed a lot of toughness in the low block area, some second chance opportunities. He scored 9 in that quarter, and you go from down 12 to down 5, and I'll bet you in the locker room you were feeling like the momentum was maybe turning your side a little bit.
Yeah, very happy with, Braden's individual performance, but just, the guys to come back. I mean, when you get down early like this in a big game, in an environment like this, it's tough to battle yourself back. But I thought Braden did some good things moving without the basketball, and his teammates were able to find him and put him in a position to score some buckets for us. Or free up Luis, because Luis struggled in there. Coach Gregory, they did a good job making sure they were pushing him off the block and giving him tough catches and tough angles to score.
Talk about, making somebody struggle. You guys did that for quite a bit of the game tonight with Austin Tyne, and a lot of that credit probably, I'm sure, a lot of team defense involved, yes, but Braxton Swires was on him quite a bit, face guard, and really just keeping him away from touches on the perimeter. He was excellent on the defensive end.
Yeah, and the two keys coming into this game was to face guard Austin, and the second is Barrios. You have to be able to gap him, because if he gets down and causes problems in gaps, rotations become issues, dump downs to their other players become easy baskets. And Austin is a tremendous talent. He's going to play a lot of basketball in the future. He's a great kid. And Braxton, he just kept battling. He's quick, he's shifty, and he's able to stay in front of him and just kind of wear on him as the game goes on.
And then a coach's best friend is somebody finding a way to put the ball in the hole. Baylor Sterkel, back-to-back trays out of the left corner, and that kind of blew the roof off this joint with the home fans, and that kind of sent you on your way to the big double-digit win. So what does this game do tonight for your program this year?
I think it just trust. These guys don't really know me. I mean, they know me, but this is my first year here, and that's a senior locker room. who had a lot of trust in Coach Bros, and just buying into what we're doing is working, what we're doing is who we are, and just trusting that our DNA to defend and rebound the basketball will get us to good spots. And guys like Baylor, he made that shot in the summer when he was working out. That shot was made a long time ago. These guys have put a lot of time and energy into this game. So I'm just happy that it all came to fruition for them.
First year at your alma mater, 17-2, WTC tourney champ. You're feeling pretty good. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Big game on the tube tomorrow. I'm sure you'll kick back and enjoy a little football. And then
you betcha. Back
to the grind come next week. Coach, thanks for having us up tonight. Had a blast watching this basketball game. Congrats on the W.
You bet. Thank you, Chris.
You bet. Final score in the boys championship game. Bridgeport a winner 60-47, a 13-point win here at home against the Mitchell High Tigers. We'll start to wrap things up right now. Recap things quickly. In the girls' third place game, it was Mitchell knocking off Morrill. In the boys' third place game, Gordon Rushville a 19-point win against Baird. Girls' title game, a blowout win for Bridgeport tonight, and the Bridgeport boys pull away down the stretch and they beat Mitchell 60-47. We had all four of them for you on KNEB.TV. Appreciate our TV crew on site tonight, led by TJ. Glad to have had you on board all day long. Chris Cottrell, that'll do it from Bridgeport tonight. The Mitchell boys fall at Bridgeport 60-47. Bulldogs grab the WTC title. That'll do it from Bridgeport tonight. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. So long and good night.
Coverage of the 2021 Western Trails Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Castle & Cook Mortgage, Emerald Court, Valley Auto Locators, Prima, and by Regional West.